Hi everyone, this is June, your candle maker and mold maker. We are making Christmas candles these days, and I would like to grab this chance to show you the whole process of making pure beeswax candles. So if you just started out or plan to get started, this video should be very helpful. So I'm going to talk about how to choose high quality beeswax, how to use your silicone molds, how to wick your molds, the tools you will need, and the right pouring temperature, and some other tricks and tips. Let's start with beeswax. This is our fall wax. Our fall wax is kind of more golden than our summer wax. So high quality beeswax should be capping beeswax. The color should be bright and look very clean, and it should smell great. You should smell some sweet honey scent. Even though the sweet honey scent may go away after a while if the wax is exposed to air, but that shouldn't affect the quality. And high quality beeswax shouldn't have any plastic smell or chemical smell. We have these little blocks for sale on our website, thehandmade.net, and we also have these blocks for sale. These are a little bit more expensive because these are candle ready. I filtered them one more time, so you don't need to filter again. But for me to make candles, I usually use this, so I will just filter one more time right before I pour. I will show you how to do that later. If the wax you got is very dark, it might be Silicone wax. You probably can still use for making candle, but the candle won't burn well. And something like this, it's kind of dark. It doesn't do well in candles, but you can still use to make some ornament. And if you got beeswax like this, that's really junk. You cannot really use to make candles. I got this wax years ago from some beekeeper, and he told me he filtered 6 times. Well, this is junk wax. It's very dirty Silicone wax. Doesn't matter how many times you filter, it still won't burn well. You can still get rid of those garbage smell. And I try to filter many times myself. I still cannot get the candle burn right. The reason why you should get high quality capping beeswax, because the candle will burn longer, burn better, it smells better, and it's easier to find the right wick. We have the big 20 pounds beeswax blocks for sale too, and some people find it's hard to break, and I will show you how to do that. Now let me show you how to use your silicone molds. If your mold doesn't come with a wick hole, you just use a toothpick or a wooden skewer with a sharp end here, just to poke a hole. Make sure it's centered like that. And now use a wicking needle. Wicking needle is very important in candle making. This wicking tool, wicking needle, we call it threader. It's our favorite. It works for most molds, small to medium molds and mini tapers, some shorter tapers. If you're using for long tapers, like over 12 inches tall, then you need to use this 15-inch long wicking needle. So you just insert this needle threader in there. Now get your wick in the hook like that. Just pour through. On top, you can secure it with a needle or wooden skewer, like that. Now you just add some rubber bands. If you know you are going to make a few pours, so you can just keep this wick long enough. That way you only need to wick once. It will save you lots of time. You can look at some other molds I set up. They all have long wicks because I plan to make 3 or 4 pours. So that way you can really save lots of time. Only need to wick once. I will show you how I demold. Let's see this one. Take this needle off. Actually, you can just pour this down. You can still keep the rubber bands on. Open the mold. It's very easy to demold. See that? Pour this up. Now remember to keep this wick here at least 1/4 inches long. See, you have this one on. You don't have to wick again. Now you just put the toothpick back. Hold it there. For most molds, I like to wick before I pour. It's just easier. But depending on the molds, some molds probably you need to wick after. Well, it will be better that way. Now my wax is about ready. I have 2 pots here, if you can see. This one is my melting pot, and this one is my pouring pot. Always keep your pouring pot very clean. So this wax is all melted. You see that? And I'm going to put the pouring pot in there. This is my double boiler. And I will filter once more before I pour. See at the bottom there's still a little bit some residue. That's why I need to filter again. This thing filter stuff is really easy to use and I love it. Now let's check the temperature. It's around 175. That's the right temperature to pour. So for silicone molds, most molds you pour around 175 to 180. Molds you need to pour faster so that the wax can flow faster. It can flow to every corner. It has great details, and you also need to pour hotter. But some molds, it doesn't matter. You can pour slow and steady. So for most 3D style silicone molds, you can pour around 175 to 180. Most of the time they should come out great, no problem. But for taper molds like this, multi-cavity taper molds, you can pour lower around 170 because they are deep down. That way you can have less air trapped inside. but you still will get sinkholes. You can just fix that with a heat gun later. And for molds like this is another taper molds. You need to heat up the molds first with heat gun, and then pour around 170. And this is how we fix the bottom. This one to cut this deep down. Just be careful, this is very sharp. And use a knife to get rid of the line. Just like that, actually. Now it's stable, but if you want to make it look better, you do this. And if you want to add a wick tab, you can just do this. You can get rid of this line. And now cut off the extra wick down there. Now you put a wick tab in there. You don't have to, but adding a wick tab will make the candle actually burn longer towards the end. And most question I got is wick size. For beginners, they always like to ask what wick size should I use. Beeswax is different. That's why I said better choose high quality beeswax. It's easier to find the right wick. So if your wax is much darker than mine, if your wax is a blue cone wax, you will need much bigger wick. For me, we are using pure capping beeswax. Like this one, this pillar, it's about 2 3/4 inches. I use number 4. It works perfect. And most small to medium size 3D candles, like this, the base is about less than about 2 inches, but the top is smaller than 2 inches. I use 3/0. This one also about small to medium size, 3/0 works great. And this 3/0 works perfect. So any size that is between 1.5 inches to 2 inches, I use 3/0. If it's 1.5 inches or smaller, I use 4/0. Now for tapers, mini tapers, 5/0, 2/0, 3/0, they all works. The bigger wick just will give you a bigger flame. For these tapers, 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, mostly they will work fine. That's why you always need to test and see which one works the best. And for pillars like this, around 2 inches to 2.5 inches, I use 2/0. They work great for me. And this one is an unusual shape. The base is much bigger than the top. The base is around 3 inches, and top is much smaller. I use 1/0, I think. Yes, 1/0 works great. And for pillars, that's the whole pillar. If it's 3 inches wide, doesn't matter how tall it is, I use number 5. It works great. And the quality of your wick is also very important in regarding to how well your candle burns. And the wicks from different suppliers may act differently. So even if they are the same wick, they may burn differently. That's why you always need to test to see which wick from which supplier works the best. Now let's do the tapers. Make sure they are centered. Pour slow and steady. holes are fixed, you can just wait till the wax gets cool and then pour the candles out. For some molds, I like to wick after, like this one. It's a small candle, and the molds are very soft, easy to demold. You can actually demold even when the wax is still warm. So I like to wick after. I pour the wax first without putting any wick. Now the wax is still warm. Just demold like that. Push. Come out easily. Now I use a bamboo skewer. Just push from the center. Now insert in your waxed wick. You can add a wick tab. Again, you don't have to, but it will burn longer and better towards the end with a wick tab. Push in. I like to cut down to 1/4 inches. Now it's done. Troubleshooting. So for most silicone molds, most 3D type, one pour is enough. You shouldn't get any sinkholes. One pour, no sinkholes. If you do get sinkholes, that means you may pour too fast or too hot. And for taper molds, most of the time you will get sinkholes. That's okay. You just fix it with heat gun. But remember, don't pour too hot or you will have to spend lots of time to fix the deep sinkholes. So around 170 works great for me. And if you see some lines on the candle body, that means the temperature is too low. You should pour hotter. And if you make pillar candles, the straight pillar without any design, we suggest to pour slow and steady so that air can get enough time to come out. And pour hotter around 180 to 185 so that you will get a better service. If you are making really tall one, like 6 inches, 9 inches, or even 12 inches, so most of the time you will get some little air bubbles or line around this part. There is a way you can get rid of that. So you just use olive oil or mineral oil to lightly grease it. Don't do too much or you will see some defect in the candle. So just a little bit, and then pour slow and steady around 180 to 185. That way you will get a very beautiful and smooth pillar. And one more thing I would like to mention, I don't know if you noticed that all the wick, there's a direction. Maybe this one is bigger, it's easier to see. You see the V is going down like that. So when you make the candle, try to keep the wick, the direction of the wick go down. That way the candle will burn better. We tested the wick, some go down, some goes up, and we do find that when the wick direction goes down, the candle actually burns better. So you see that this is going down. Thank you for watching my video. Beeswax candle making can be fun. It can also be frustrating sometimes, especially when you cannot get your candle burn right after many tests. The quality of your beeswax and the quality of your wick matter the most, but there are some other factors like the weather condition, the humidity, and the air pressure, they can also affect how your candle burns. Those are the factors that you cannot control, so don't get yourself too frustrated. There is no one way fits all. Some other candle makers may do it differently, so you need to find the way you like, find the way that works what works best for you. Mold making is my main business. I test my molds, I test my candles on a daily basis, and I'm still learning. So if you have any questions, you can contact me directly through my Facebook page or through my website, thehandmadecharm.net. I would love to help if I can.